What's going on, everybody? What's up? What's up? This is Frazier Boy from the Frazier Chronicles, and I'm coming to you live. I'm here in my little podcast studio. Um, Something that I want to talk about just for a little while um, is what is going on in the world today. Some of the things that we are experiencing in society today is um, the things that's going on with Donald Trump and him signing these things that's going to impact our economy, not only impact our economy but impact our money financially. And what is it that I'm trying to that we're going to talk about today is we have to stand for something in this country. We have to stand for something in this country because if not, we're going to keep getting the same solution, the same results. Um, and as Americans, we have to fight harder. We seen Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman. They all fought for something, and people are kneeling for because of the brutalities and the things in this world. And it's like we are punishing them because they're doing something that we won't do. And you have to be able to stand up for what is right. Everybody wants to stand up for what's wrong and sit back and let things happen and unfold. And it's our jobs as Americans to bring these things to the forefront so that others won't have to go through this stuff. Okay, Hong Kong, they protested, and guess what? When they protest, things turned out the way that the protesters wanted it. Okay, and the same here in America. If Colin Kaepernick's out of the NFL, and everybody's can say it, everybody can talk about it, but Colin Kaepernick's out of the NFL because of not because he kneeled. So let me clarify that. Let me clear that up. It's not because Colin Kaepernick kneeled. It's that has nothing to do with his reasons on why he's out of the NFL. It's not. Let's be honest. Okay, he's out of the NFL because he stood up for something that was right. And that was the brutal, that was the police killings, those things. He stood up for what was right, and he lost his job because he stood up for what is right. But you will go to work every day, and your job can treat you like you're a nobody, and make you feel like a slave, like you're enslaved to them, and you're not supposed to be enslaved to nobody. Okay. Yes, I might work a job. Yeah, I can work for you. I can work for your company. I can work to help brand you, advertise your company, advertise your business. But I should never have to feel like I don't have the freedoms to be who I am. And there are jobs out there like that. Some of you are in jobs like that. I mean, you can't be who you want to be because of politics. You can't do what you want to do because of politics. Okay, but yet the politicians are being who they want to be. They're telling you, hey, you can't go out here and stand for equality. You can't go out here and stand for this or do that. But they're the same ones that are out here able to do it on their own, and no one is saying anything to them. But Colin Kaepernick stands up for something, and he's out the NFL. Okay, so all I'm trying to say is, yeah, if everybody comes together, and if everybody in the NFL would kneel, and what I mean by that is stand up for what is right. You can't get rid of everybody in the NFL. Just like a job can't get rid of all its workers. If everybody does it, they can't get rid of everybody. But they can get rid of one, two, or five because they can replace five. But when we're talking about 1,000 people, 1,500 people, that's a lot of people. Okay, and you're not going to discipline 1,500 people in your company or in your organization. Okay, this country that we live in, America, guys, ladies and gentlemen, America is what I'm talking about. America's who I'm talking about. America, this country, if truth be told, was built on the backs, okay, built on the backs of foreigners, black men, black women. Okay, foreign people from overseas that were on a ship, bought over here, enslaved to do the work that somebody who owns them wanted them to do. So when they don't, so when Colin Kaepernick or anybody else doesn't want to stand for a flag, that is okay, because at the end of the day, this country was formed on the backs of foreigners. Okay, so we're in an uproar and we're not doing our research, ladies and gentlemen, Americans. Not doing your research. All you're doing out here is telling somebody what they should do, what they shouldn't do. That's what we do. You waiting to get some social status, or you're waiting for somebody to tell you, oh, what you're doing is great. What you're doing is good. But the thing about it is you're not standing for anything. You're none of that. You know, people, and we still got Ku Klux Klan members in this country. I read an article recently that they're looking to arrest, I want to say 80 people who are Ku Klux Klan men, or part of the Ku Klux Klan. And they want to do it because the simple fact is they bought weapons to a rally. So if you think racism is not here, and you think racism is gone and is dead and is long gone, I want you to seriously do some soul research on it, and think. I have been in an organization, and the organization is it's a good organization, just built on people who were bad, okay, and their intentions are in the wrong spot. They're white people and they want to get rid of blacks. Because here you tells one person to do this, or you're yelling at this person, you're cussing them out. Slavery. You try to get people to understand slavery is over. I read books all the time on how they treated slaves. I have books on some of the historical stuff that slaves went through, and when you look at certain jobs and you look at certain things in this life, the same things has been implemented in that organization, and we don't talk about it. We go through it, we persevere, because all we think about is, well, I need a paycheck, I need to pay my bills, but why not stand up for what is right? If that organization doesn't allow it, then you got to go. You should walk away and never look back to try to join that organization, try to stay in that organization or anything. I remember when I was deployed. Okay, I was deployed in the Middle East to Iraq, and I read the Stars and Stripes. The Stars and Stripes has a lot of information. If you're a soldier and you go overseas, you ever deploy, you go overseas in a foreign country, the Stars and Stripes is free. It's everywhere. Pick it up and read it. All right, and the Stars and Stripes has some things about it. The Ku Klux Klan. And I thought to myself, well, what am I fighting for? How do you go to another country and you go overseas and you fight for another country, but in your own country and in your own backyard, you're not getting what people are telling you America was built on. How can I fight for somebody else's freedom, but I can't fight for my own? To me, that's a form of injustice to yourself. That's hypocritical to go tell another country, hey, y'all should be doing this, living this way. But yet here we are in our own country, and we have the same problems, the same things, if not worse, in our own country. Yes, America, we're a country that they say is free and all of this stuff. But yet we live in a country where you can't express yourself. Okay, if you express yourself, you're wrong. If you do anything, you're wrong for it. You're looked down. You're frowned upon. And I just want to. If you watch this video today, I want you to do some research on your own self, and you ask yourself, am I in a place where I can't do what I feel I need to do? I can't be who I want to be because of a politician or some politics. If you answer those questions, you're saying, yes, I'm a part of that, you need to leave that organization. And I understand it takes time to transition from one organization to another organization, but why be enslaved to anything? I remember being in the army, and I'm not here to bash the army. I'm not here to bash that. No, let me make that clear. Let me make that clear. Let me put that on the front burner. I'm not here to bash the Army. I'm not here to bash them. Okay, that is a good organization. They protect the rights and the freedoms of this country that we call America. But there are things in that organization that I will go against, and I will never change my mindset on it. And like I said, it's not the organ. It's the people. It's the people. It's some people in there that don't need to be in there. You know, I've dealt with racism more in the Army than I've dealt with it just out here being a regular civilian. I have dealt with it so much. Being an entrepreneur, I've never dealt with it like that. Being a podcaster, I never dealt with it like that. But in the Army, I have dealt with it because of people. Because people in there who live in traditions from their grandparent who was in their grave that was a racism, and their grandfathers and their forefathers who were racist. And I read books on generals. Yes, I read books on generals who said blacks should not be allowed to fight with the white counterparts. Okay, and that right there was one of the reasons why I made the decision to get out. Another reason I made the decision to get out is because you can't tell me. You can't tell me. Okay, when I went to somebody who was superior than me, and I went to them and I sat down in their office and I said, I feel like a slave. I feel like the battalion slave. I feel like a slave. Cause all you do is work us like dogs. And you know what this high rank told me? He told me the same thing a book told me. He said this to me. He said, we are the battalion slaves. And I told him I'm not a slave to no man and no woman. And I asked to get out. And at those points, they wouldn't let me get out. And it's the same thing. I wanted to stand up for what's right. I wanted to leave an organization that told me that I am a slave to this, I'm a slave to that. I wanted no parts of that. I wanted to go. If it meant me taking all the money I had in my account and paying it back, I would have done that. And some of my friends that were around at the time, I had re-enlisted and got a re-enlistment bonus of $4,500 tax free because I was in deployment on a deployed in the deployed area, and it was tax free money. And I had went to my account and pulled that money out, and I took it to that superior, and I said, "Hey, I want this gone. Out here, you can take it. I don't want to be a part of this." And that was me knowing that day, that moment, that I was a leader, that I was somebody who would stand up for the right thing, that I'm not a coward, because cowards don't stand up for what is right. Cowards let anything and everything go on. And like I said, I'm not here to bash the Army, but I'm here to let you know, there are people that stand up every day and you would not know it because they don't have a podcast, or they don't have what I have. I have this podcast to air out what it is I want to air out and say what I do please to say. And if person doesn't like it, they don't have to tune in. They don't have to be a follower, because I'm a real life person. I give you realistic stuff. I'm not here to tell you to do something that I'm not going to do. I'm not telling you to go stand up for something. I'm not going to stand up for something. I stand up for what is right. I do what is right. I've had people try to take my Army career and trash it. I've been through those things where somebody trashes me and the things that I stand up for, because I don't want to sit there and allow you to cuss me out. I don't want to sit there and allow you to do what you want to do because you might be a higher rank or you're in a higher position than me. I'm not going to allow you to do those things. And the same thing that goes on, and I read books all the time on my forefathers who have paved the way so that I don't have to go to those things. So when I do go through those things, I know that somebody paved the way so I didn't. So why not fight for it? Why not fight for it? I'm asking you, why not fight for it? You're in a job because I got to pay a bill, or I got 10 kids. Well, let me tell you something. You ain't got to stay at no job that's going to treat you inhumane, treat you poorly, do you dirty. You don't got to stay in a job like that. If you don't like me because of the color of my skin, then that's between you and God. And when you go to bed and you pray at night, then you need to talk to God about it, because there's a serious issue that you have. I can't change the color of my skin. I don't want to change the color of my skin. I'm a happy black African American male in the United States. Okay, all the stuff that everybody been through, everybody has fought so that we can have. And I'm here, and I'm going to fight to the end, just like they fought to the end, to have the things that they felt is necessary for us to have. Okay, and if I don't fight for it, I'm basically telling them that you fought for no reason because you fought, but I'm not gonna fight. What you fought for, I ain't fighting for. And that tells them that, that I don't care about that. I'm no slave to nobody. Don't be a slave. Today, if you watching this podcast or this on our station, on the Fraser Chronicles, and I'm just being upfront. Don't be a statistic. Don't let them tell you that you have to work a job because you don't have to work no job. Don't let somebody tell you you have to do anything in your life. You don't have to do nothing that you don't want to do. You don't have to do nothing that you don't want to do. All right. And in this country, there's a lot of things that you're doing that you don't have to do. You don't have to be out there breaking your back for a paycheck. You don't have to you don't have to do that. Know your worth. And that's a lot of people in the United States. You don't know your worth. That's why you don't fight for anything. You don't know your worth. You don't know what it is that you have the power and the authority to do. You just feel like, oh, I'm at this job and this job is telling me to do this. I'm in this country and they're telling me to do this. Get a passport. Get a passport. Trust me, get a passport, go overseas and see how they're living. Stop watching the TV talking about this country's poor, that country's poor, because I'm going to tell you like this. Everybody always talks about countries not having food. Well, hey, hell, we in America we don't have food, and what I mean by that is we got people starving too. Everybody don't go home and get a cooked meal. Some people go home to a house, no electricity. They go to a house, it's just a building, man. It's not home. And at some point, you have to stand up for what is right. And Colin Kaepernick, man, if I could talk to the guy, man, I applaud you for it. Anybody else that kneel for whatever is right, I applaud you for it. Because at the end of the day, you're not disrespecting the flag. You're just taking a stand and you're using the platform that you have. And that's what I'm doing here. The platform that I have, I take a stand on it. I'm taking a stand to do the right thing. I don't agree with our president imposing all these things on China and all this stuff. I don't agree on that. But my thing about it is this. At some point in our life, some things are going to happen. And some things we don't have a control over. But that's China's problem. That's China's problem. That's not Fraser Chronicles' problem. That's China's problem. The taxes that Donald Trump has imposed, that's his problem and China's problem. I'm not going to pay for some items that's going to be imposed those big taxes, whether that's shoes, whatever it is. Okay, and my thing is I'm happy with what I have. The clothes I have in my closet, the shoes I wear on my feet, when I go out, whatever I do, if you telling me that I've got to pay this amount of money or that amount of money because of this, that, and the third, hey, don't count me in. Don't count me in. Okay? Do not count me in. All right. So stand up for what is right, man. I don't care where you work, man. If you work at Dollar General, man, and they got racism going on, man, you stand up for what is right. If you gotta say, hey, I got to go because this is not right, stand up for what is right, man. Some of you went to work at these places and didn't have a job going in it. As one lady told me, and I'm gonna wrap this podcast up. One lady told me this, and this is really what stuck with me, man. And she said, God will make a way because he's done it before. And that really stuck with me, to this day, When I decided that I was going to get out the army, when certain things started coming down and started happening, I realized and I said to a lot of my friends, it's like, God will make a way. He's always took care of me. He's always done this. He's always done that. He's always shown up. I don't foresee God just leaving me out here to hang. So if you stand for what's right and you have a belief in God and you trust in God and you trust in Jesus wholeheartedly, and I'm not talking about half-heartedly. I'm not talking about you straddling the fence. I'm talking about wholeheartedly. You're like, hey, I'm in it to win it. I'm in it to make a change. I'm in it to let people know you don't have to go through that. And that's what I wanted to do. And I to this day, I tell soldiers all the time, if somebody's doing you dirty, wrong, you ain't got to stand there. You can get out, go do something you want to do. I got on a plane. And if you never took a plane ride, take a plane ride one day. I got on a plane one time, And this was my freshman year in college, going up to North Dakota. And I flew from North Carolina up to Minnesota. And the first time I got on a plane, I actually smiled, and I can remember that I started smiling from ear to ear. Um, because I was making a change in my life, I was like, hey, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to leave North Carolina. I'm going to leave my family, my parents. I was married, so I hadn't, my family was my parents and my sisters, and I left, my nephews, and I left. And it taught me so much about life that no matter where you go in life, you got to survive, and you got to stand up for what is right. And I did the same thing there. I stood up for what was right, you know, and I don't have no regrets. I don't have no regrets right now. I would, if they came in here and I was walking down the street, or they came to my house or wherever I'm broadcasting at, and they said, we're gonna blow your head off for doing what's right, do it. Do it. Because at the end of the day, you can't stop me from doing the right thing. Because as if you kill me, there's somebody else that's watching it, and they're saying, man, that guy was great. Everybody watches Martin Luther King, and we everybody gets around the TV, watches Martin Luther King when he was doing his civil rights acts and helping everyone. Man, he didn't help just blacks. He was helping whites. He was helping the Jews. He was helping everybody. Um, he was helping everybody because that's what he did. And you don't know who you're gonna help later on. You might not see it happen in your lifetime, but at some point, somebody's gonna be life's gonna be changed because of something you did. And years later, gonna be talking about you, about, man, that person did this. So be a difference maker, man. Be a difference maker. Stand up for what is right. Don't let this country, America, go down in shambles because of our leaders, man. And don't allow it. You know, our leaders make the decision, and we have a say so in that. Whether you believe it or not, we have a say so. So if you're out there and you're just tuning in, and this probably broadcast probably gonna be over by that, send an email. Send us some email. Send me an email. I promise to get back to you. I might not get back with you right then and there because I have things that I'm doing with the podcast. I'm having things that I'm doing with my business. You know, I will make time. You know, I don't mind hosting people on here. I don't mind that stuff. Um, I just want you to come on. If you're gonna come on this show, and I'm inviting anybody on this show that wants to come on this show, just come on the show and be yourself. You know, don't go out here and try to be something you're not. Be yourself. Don't come on here because I'm telling you I'm a real listeners. And if you come on here and you trying to be a politician or be political, you're not gonna make it. Not on this show. Not no, not one, not at all. All right. So if you're gonna come on here, you want to talk some things out, you want to air some things out. You know, it's for us. This is my show. I run this. I own this. I own this platform. Nobody don't own this platform. I own this platform. And whatever you feel needs is necessary to get something off your chest, man, come to it. We can talk on it. You know, do everything we got to do live. You know what I'm saying? And that's the goal. You know, this is my platform, and I want to start coming to you. Try to make a podcast every time that I get on here. And give some good advice, man. And today's advice is just to stand for what is right. Stand, sit, kneel, man, run, walk, whatever, talk, whatever you got to do to make your presence known that what is going on around you is wrong. Make it known. And I'm using my platform to do it. And if you want to get on here and go live any time, any day of the week, you know, hit me up. We can plan it. We can schedule these things and just do it. All right. And today's, like I said, it's just stand up for what is right. Um, like I said, shoot me them emails, subscribe, like, get your friends involved to like this channel. Um, we're gonna be doing more and more of podcasting and trying to get into the community in your community. So if you're in North Carolina, Texas, we want to travel. So you know, our goal is to do some things, and we need your help to do it. So like it, subscribe, send us emails, questions, comments, concerns. We can address those on the air, live, any day, anytime. Until then, from the Fraser Chronicles, it's Fraser Boy, and I'm out, y'all.